So I have cut this into fringe now. This is the bottom of my t-shirt, and I'm going to apply it to the right side down to right side of the pillow front. And I've come all the way around. I want to show you how I did this little corner, because when you turn the corners you need to have a little extra space. So what we want to do is press it down like that, pin it, and then you're going to make an actual pleat or a dart or miter or whatever you want to call it, to where you're going to, let me see if I can get it closer, closer. So that when I turn this corner, I'm going to have enough of a pleat there. So I'm basically going to take this whole piece, it's going this way now, I'm going to take the whole piece and turn it to where this meets the edge. And then I'm going to pin this one, if I can find my pins. And then when I get ready to sew, I'm going to make sure all of this is out of the way. And this is going to need to go down. So now I'm going to show you how I need to add, because this is not going to fray out or anything. I'm going to take this piece right here and I'm going to add it to the end here. So I'm basically just going to put just overlap this just a little bit. So just by maybe one or two. Actually, I'm just going to overlap it one. Or I could just butt it right up here. There you go. That's what I'm going to do. Butt it right up against the other one. And pin that down. Okay, so now when I go to the sewing machine, I want to be sure, and I need to make sure I get this out of the way and pull it down, but keep it to the corner, and then I'm going to finish it off all the way to the end here. So now when I go to the sewing machine, I'm going to stitch this just 1/4 of an inch from the end all the way around, and then I'm going to come back after I get that all stitched, and I'm going to make sure that all my little corners are not going to go into the seam line, because once I get that done I have to put my back on it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold this down and I'm going to put a little bit of tape, and I like to use painter's tape because it comes off the fabric real easy and I can get it nice and wide. And what I'm going to do is when I get that all pulled down, do you see how that's going to stay out of the seam end, seam allowance? So I want to be sure none of these are going to wiggle their way into the seam allowance. And so I'm going to tape all the way around this, making sure that these stay into place. And then once I get ready to sew them together, they will behave themselves. You can do this if you were putting on fringe for trims of any kind that have a lot of extra little edges that kind of wiggle in. And and this tape will come off real easily. You just want to keep it away from the seams. You'll see this would be going into the seam, and we don't want to do that. And then once I get that all taped down and stitched around so that it's all stable and done, then I'm going to take my back and I'm going to put it this way, and then I will stitch this closed and leave an opening for stuffing. And then once everything's done and I turn it, then I can pull all this tape off and the fringe will be on the outside edge. I have now clipped the corners, stitched the two together so that there's the tape inside, and I have clipped my corners and so that it will turn better. And then I'm going to just pull it from the opening and bring it out. And now I will take off the tape. Once I get this turned, which I'm going to poke the corners out, and then I will pull the tape away, and then I will stuff it. So all I have to do now is pull my tape off, and I'm going to stuff it with my stuffing. And then as soon as I get it full to where I want it, then I will come in here and I will whip stitch, just hand stitch the end here to finish it off. And then once it's all turned and pulled out, I'm going to pull on this fringe. And when I pull on the fringe, each one of these, it kind of curls up. And then as you do this and wash it and all that, it'll even curl up a little bit more so that you'll end up with something similar to what I already have. So that is it. And I know that this will be a wonderful memory for somebody if you make this. It's wonderful to make quilts, but this is very huggable. So good luck. Have fun. This is Patty Dunn with AllDoneDesigns.com.